since God sees and knows, we can be about his business. Since he sees and knows, we can be about his business. If you look at the last verse there, it says, I, Daniel, God gave him the second. Now remember, when he gave him the vision the first time, it changed his countenance. It made him sick. And here the second time, and I, Daniel, fainted and was sick for days. Why? Well, because when God shows us something from the future, it's not always something that we would have prescribed. It's not always something that we would have wanted. But God's ways are perfect. So I was sick for days. Afterwards I arose. What do you do? I went about the king's business. Can I tell you, that's a very healthy prescription for life. I went about the king's business. And then he says, I was astonished by the vision, but no one understood it. If you would, just circle that word astonished nearby. Here's what you could write. Write the word desolated. Desolated, that's what that word means. And to be desolated means that you are train wrecked. It means that you are absolutely agonizingly sick over that. It ruins you. That's the idea of desolated. And I'll illustrate it this way with this closing illustration. That there's a book that was written by this guy. His name was Mark Hatfield. He was a senator from Oregon. He's deceased now, but he had occasion to go to Calcutta, India with Mother Teresa. And it changed his life, rocked his world. And when he was there, he found Mother Teresa, and she was ministering all through Calcutta. And in one of the places she would go, it was called the House of the Dead. And basically, the prognosis of everybody in this house was horrible. And everybody who was in this house was going to die. They were beyond hope. And Mother Teresa, there ministering, this guy Mark being exposed to all this, and he by his words, he was decimated by it. And he asked Mother Teresa, saying, you have no hope of success in what you're doing. Why are you doing that? And she said, God hasn't called me to be successful. God's called me to be faithful. And for us, when we read Daniel chapter 8, the idea and the implication is simply this, that we need to know that God, he knows the future. We need to know that God knows what we can handle and what we can't. And so with that, we need to know that since God knows all of those things, that I can be about his business and that I should be about his business. I need to be trusting him.